And meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu met with service chiefs to review the entire security situation in the country and also develop new strategies in fighting emerging threats. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, who spoke on behalf of other service chiefs, assured Nigerians that security forces are working round the clock to keep the country safe. General Musa says they have also acquired new equipment of warfare to give the army more impetus and advantage over the terrorists.
I think our meeting today is for us to review the entire security situation in the country. The president is concerned about what's going on, and we have reassured him that we're on top of our game. We're working extremely very hard. What has happened of recent is that there's a global push by terrorists and jihadists all over the Sahel area, and that pressure is what actually came into Nigeria because of the nature of our borders. And so we have, Mr. President has given directives as to what to do next for us to intensify all efforts, collaborate with all our sister countries around, because it is the porous nature that is coming there that is actually aggravating our own issues on ground. And so all our theaters have been enhanced, equipment have been bought. Mr. President has also given us much approvals for air assets and other aspects of security. And like we said, it's not only the kinetic effort, the non-kinetic aspects that is most important. The President is also looking at the aspects of also discussing with the government for their own support, buy-in in ensuring that dividends of democracy also extends to the communities to be able to stamp down the issue of insecurity.
All right, joining me on the news for more updates is a former spokesman of the Nigerian Air Force, retired Air Vice Marshal Olatokunbo Adesonya. Good to have you join us.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
So I will get to the issue of the Trekker helicopters in just a moment, but I want us to start with a meeting of the service chiefs with the president. The Chief of Defense Staff attributed the recent upsurge in incidents of insecurity to that global push by terrorists and jihadists in the Sahel region. And he says that has trickled into Nigeria. But I just want to get to your reaction to that statement he made. If you find that to be the reason why we have an upsurge in incidents of insecurity.
Thank you very much for inviting me once again. Certainly the Chief of the Defense Staff will have more information than I do. But on a general note, over the years, clearly from the Sahel region where we had a lot of instability, especially after the demise of the former President Gaddafi, there's been a lot of instability, proliferation of arms, and that has led to quite a number of non-state actors, many of whom have found their way down to Nigeria. And indeed, we have a situation where we have porous borders, and that's why I've been advocating, among other things, for us to start considering the need to start building physical borders in order to curb some of these illegal immigration by these elements.
For a lot of Nigerians, they've seen gains at some point in the fight against insurgency. But the problem seems to be, as I speak with security experts as well, that it looks like the security agencies do not consolidate on the gains made, and then we have another upsurge. There's always now been a talk of review of strategy. For you, what should the military be reviewing in terms of strategy, and how should they proceed?
I'm happy you asked that question. And I'm also happy that when the Chief of Defense Staff was talking, he mentioned the consideration of non-kinetic means. Indeed, the mistake that has often been made is to think that the entire responsibility falls on the Nigerian military to tackle insurgency. Insurgency is something that requires a multifaceted approach, and that's why whenever the military clears a particular locality, for example, there's something called a clear and hold strategy, which means after the military has cleared the place successfully, governance should step in, rebuilding should set in, and all this go beyond the military. And it is why local government chairmen, governors, local leaders, traditional rulers, and the rest have a lot to do in this respect. All will be towards the non-kinetic means, winning the hearts and minds of the populace, community engagement programs, and then addressing issues such as illiteracy, unemployment, poverty, because those are indeed the root causes of insurgency. So ideally, we will continue to experience short-term gains as long as we do not focus on these issues. It is when we focus on these issues that after the military has done its job and then the entire place is occupied, you actually find that the main issue is that we have a lot of ungoverned spaces. So it is in ungoverned spaces that you have these terrorists thriving.
I want to now get to the arm of the military where you served, which is the Air Force. They are celebrating the 61st anniversary this year. We see that the government has now purchased 2 Tracker helicopters, and they say they're expecting more by the end of 2027. But how far will this go, especially the 2 Tracker helicopters, in enhancing their capacity to tackle terrorism?
The Tracker helicopter that has been purchased is a multi-role helicopter. Among other things, it has the capability for search and rescue. It has the capability for light liaison. Of course, it will be useful for training. It will also be useful for casualty evacuation, for medical evacuation, among many other things. And of course, when necessary, it can also be used for quick mobility of our troops in support of ongoing operations.
Thank you so much for your time. I know that you'll be joining festivities during the 61st anniversary of the Air Force. Thank you. Former spokesman of the Nigerian Air Force, retired Air Vice Marshal Olatukumbo Adesoya.
It's been my pleasure once again.